Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. We are now officially at the final four of this season.
Keanu is gone.
Okay, let's just all take a deep breath. Okay, just feel all the feelings because this is a hard time for all of us at Keanu Nation.
Absolutely. I know that there's people out there that are probably celebrating this, that he is gone, but it felt like it was just inevitable at this point. He really fought to try to stay, to do whatever that he could, as he has all season long. You know, love him or hate him, he has fought and fought and fought to stay in this house. So seeing him go, for me, a bummer.
Yeah, it's a really big bummer. And I mean, I'm sure we'll get even more into Keanu's demise here as this video goes along, but it's just like the big picture thing. I will say right now is I think Keanu is the best newbie who was cast this season, and I think he's a great reminder. It's nice to have superfans on Big Brother, but sometimes superfans end up being like Lauren, who was just not good television. She had a couple good reads, and that was kind of it. You always need a mix, and that's why I will always advocate for messy kings like Keanu, who didn't know what he was doing a lot of the time, just being on the show, being really entertaining, and going really far.
Yeah, super fans are fun, but I do enjoy, I'm not here to be like, I love recruits. I like sort of kind of in the middle where maybe you've seen a little bit, you decided to, go on it. And then, you're figuring things out as you're going along. I mean, he figured some stuff out as he was going along, and he did try his best. He was really bad at it most of the time, but he did keep trying. And I mean, that's all I can really ask for. There's so many times that people just didn't do anything and didn't campaign and try to get out of it. I'm just like, well, then go.
Yeah, I think coming out of the house, Keanu has a few things that he can be proud of here. Like, number one, either he or Rachel are going to be AFP. And I think really no matter who ends up getting it, like I'm not going to be mad about either one of them winning it.
Yeah, I've seen everybody online. It seems like the votes are going back and forth between them.
Yeah, and that's more than fine. I think he'll also become a Big Brother super fan after all of this. Like, I really think that he did come to love this game a lot.
I think so too. I mean, you tried.
Yes. We'll get into more a little bit later, everything Keanu did, but we got to get into the final four HoH, what the plans could be this week, and a whole lot more. Before we do, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here with daily Big Brother 27 live feed updates, and we are in the midst of a big, crazy reality TV week here at the channel because we have Survivor 49 right around the corner, and then also the Amazing Race with Big Brother house guests as well as their loved ones, and that is going to be so much fun.
We're also going to be covering the Traders UK here. That's going to be starting on October 8th, and also coming up, it's Matt's birthday in just a couple of weeks. So, if you don't want to miss out on some of the fun and festivities, I'm going to be posting a whole bunch of pictures of his birthday. We're going to the beach. We're going to have cake. We're going to have a little party. We're going to play some games. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to have a whole bunch of pictures up at our Instagram, which is Matt and Jess TV. So if you want to head over to our Instagram and hit that follow button over there, you'll be able to check out all those pictures. And thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed here and has followed us over on Instagram.
Thank you guys. Like, that's really, really great, and we appreciate it so much.
All right, let's talk about this HoH because it's Morgan. And is anybody surprised? Raise your hand if you're surprised. No. Listen, we've been saying this for a while now. Like, if they weren't going to get out Vince or Morgan, one of them is winning. Like, you can't have a duo go this deep into the competition. It is ridiculous that anybody let this happen.
No, and I mean, they all have themselves to blame here. And, we go back really, really far. Like, there was an opportunity much earlier this season to get rid of Morgan. They didn't do it. At the time, I wasn't that upset about it because it meant that Riley was leaving the game. But it's just like Morgan now has won and made herself safe so many weeks in a row.
And there's been multiple times to get rid of Vince, and they did not get rid of him. And it may not have then allowed Morgan to get this far either.
Yeah, it's just one of these situations. And we see this happen occasionally in Big Brother where one or two people just dominate the whole end game. And it kind of nullifies whatever resistance could have been there. And yeah, in this instance, it's creating some messy television, but that's mostly just because Vince and Morgan themselves inherently are messy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so this HOH competition, it seems like it is the dice competition. So for those of you who don't know, you're moving around this really big dice. It's very, very physical. It's one that Keanu ironically talked about wanting to do for a good percentage of his time in the house.
Yep. And it's interesting because I feel like he could have won this and broke them up.
Yeah, and like multiple people have even said this after the fact where they were just sort of like, it's a good thing we got rid of Keanu when he did.
Oh my God, he could have gotten Morgan out.
I know. It's just really, unfortunately for you, Keanu, this is some very, very bad luck. You were not here for this. Ashley was also just complaining about this comp in general, and I will say this. I know some people may be over Ashley complaining about various things. She kind of has a point here. This is the Final Four HOH. Why are you going to make it something that's really, really physical?
If I was in this house, there would be no way that I was going to be able to win this. I mean, it's a huge dice. It's really, really physical. I'm only 5 feet tall. I'm really small. Yeah. So like on top of it being really physical, and I am a non-athlete, so I am not able to move that anyways. I'm pretty tiny. So it's going to be really difficult for me to move it anyways. It feels like a bit of an unfair challenge for people who are short like me.
I'm 6'2". I still would have probably lost. You should have brought in.
You would have been good.
They need to bring in Jeff from his time on Survivor to come in and be like, Matt's falling over. The dice is rolling on top of him. And it's just like Morgan. It's not hard to imagine why she won this. Like she is an athlete, and she good credit for her. She's into Final 3 now. She doesn't have to worry the rest of this very, very short HOH cycle.
Yes.
So for those of you who have not watched Big Brother before, the Final Four, it's a little bit of a tricky situation because Morgan effectively has immunity, but she doesn't really have that much control over who ends up leaving this week.
Yeah, this is all about who wins the veto and who ends up having the control, because they will cast the only vote.
Yeah, it's like even nominations technically haven't happened at the time of this recording, but at the same time, like it's gonna be Ava and Ashley.
Of course.
Like you said, it really doesn't matter.
No.
The only thing that kind of does here, and this is where we could get a little bit of drama, is that if either Ava or Ashley win this veto, they can just take Vince out of the game and be done with it.
And they should.
Yes, like that is a huge move just to have on their resume. Like it's easy to sit here and be like at this point, okay, Vince has made a lot of people mad at the jury who probably won't vote for him. And like that might be true.
Here's the issue is just, Ava and Ashley together have won almost nothing. Like they've won very, very little, and Vince has won so much.
Yeah, that's why, I don't want to sit here and be like super, super negative and pessimistic, but it's
worried.
Like, I don't have any faith in Ava and Ashley at this point in the game. It's just like you said, they haven't won that much, especially as of late. It's been very, very dominant. And I also kind of feel like once you start losing competitions, like it really can get in your head where you're just like, okay, well, am I really going to win anything? Especially if the people you're facing are winning more or less everything.
Absolutely. Of course. It's going to break your confidence for sure.
Yeah. So Vince is starting to spiral a little bit here because he realizes it's like, he couldn't play in this HOH in the first place, but he is very much now like, okay, there's a good chance I could leave if one of these two end up winning the veto. So he's trying already to impart as much advice to Morgan as possible. Like, oh, you really need to lock in this veto, Morgan. It's just like, does Morgan really need to be told to lock in at this point in the game?
Yeah, listen, Morgan doesn't want you to leave. Like, she is going to do everything she can.
Yes.
Vince, you need to lock in this veto. She's not going to just let you leave, even though she should.
Yeah.
She's not going to. So I wouldn't worry about it. You can't let yourself crash out, or you're not going to end up winning this veto at all.
Yeah, like he's doing things that include at this point telling Morgan not to study with Ava and Ashley because he doesn't want anybody helping them. Like Morgan's more or less agreed to that, but it's just also like, I don't know if she was really gonna do that anyway, Vince.
Yeah, she probably wasn't going to, but I mean, I understandably paranoid. Like you're right at the end, there's a good chance, for him where he could walk away with some money, and he's probably worried that she might cut him right at the end. This house makes people super paranoid. Like we all know that the possibility of she cutting him is like real nothing.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that. And so for him, yeah, of course he's going to be like, please don't study with them. Don't help them in any kind of way. But yeah, he doesn't need to worry about that.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? From now until the veto, it may get even worse in his brain because of everything that you just laid out. I mean, as of right now, I have a hard time thinking either Ava or Ashley is going to vote to keep them. Like, yeah, you could make this case that, all right, Ashley's going to want the judges to go to final three, but I don't think Ashley really cares so much about that as she would care about keeping someone in Ava who is much more likely to take her to final two.
Absolutely. I think that this judges thing is just done. Nobody really cares about this anymore.
No, but okay, here is where things do get a little bit interesting, though, heading into this veto, is that Vince is claiming, and we can put a big asterisk on the word claiming here,
Yes.
that he is ready to play his own game and he doesn't just want to play Morgan's game.
Too late. We are like days away from the finale. You have come to this line too late. Nobody is going to think this or feel this about you with this many days left.
So he has told
You
Ava,
cacked it.
yes, he has. He told Ava, like, okay, listen, I would rather have you in the final three than have Ashley because he feels like there is a better chance that Ava is going to want to go to the end with Morgan over him out of some sort of loyalty that the two of them have together. And I think he knows that Ava's probably going to take him to the end over Morgan, even though she can't stand Vince half of the time. And I think that assessment is probably true. I do think Ava's much more likely to take him than she is Morgan.
She should, but I really think that he's still going to end up beating her anyways. I know that she's got friends on the jury and people that really like her, but she has not done enough.
No, she really hasn't. And I look at Ava's game right now and I'm like, okay, maybe she gets Will, but Will will have maybe some pressure from the judges. Like she could get Kelly. Even if she gets Lauren, but I think Lauren, may end up just voting for Vince because, they were very, very close. So it's just like she doesn't have that much of a chance.
Yeah, she has a chance, but she doesn't have that much of a chance. There are 3 people that could throw votes her way, but the rest of the people won't.
No, I will applaud Ava for being willing to have this conversation with Vince. She really approached him with a lot of the idea. And it's just like, I know you haven't gamed that much this season, but at least you were awake, having some conversations. You're just at least letting him think that, okay, the two of you can go to the end together, regardless of whether or not you actually believe it, Ava.
Sure, I guess. She's so late to the game at this point.
Yeah.
She has just slept through the whole season. Even through her HoH, she was sleeping through it. It's just, I can't.
Okay. I'm going to put on a tinfoil hat, though, for a moment, because there is an interesting scenario to talk through here, where what if Morgan wins the Final Four veto? And for those who don't know, what that basically means is she can choose the person who's going to cast the deciding vote to evict between the other two.
Right.
So let's say she does end up winning this veto. Can Ava then go to Morgan and be like, by the way, did you know that Vince was talking about X, Y, and Z and maybe having a different plan than whatever you had planned? Like, can she do something to make Morgan start to be like, okay, maybe I do need to get rid of Vince?
Yeah, Morgan's not going to believe it. I just feel like her and Vince are they're too close. The rest of the players that are left, they let it go too long. Like to bring that up, true or not true, it doesn't matter. Like Morgan's not going to just all of a sudden believe that and then be like, you know what, Vince, you got to go. It's just not going to happen because she knows that if he wins at the end, that he is going to bring her. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's just something that she's not going to shy away from. And that is also the thing where I just have a hard time believing anything Vince will ever say to the contrary about all of this. I think if he has an opportunity to take Morgan to the end, he's going to.
1,000% these two are taking each other to the end.
Yeah, I don't see it. We have all this evidence in terms of their gameplay, but then also everything on the personal level. And with that,
Yes.
it's time for another Vince and Morgan update here.
Bruh.
Okay, so
Okay.
yesterday we talked a little bit about Vince having his percentages conversation with Morgan, and through a lot of that indicating that, okay, there are some feelings there.
Yeah.
Morgan's not really willing to publicly speak that much on it right now. So late yesterday, the house guests who were remaining, they all got these video messages from home, and they've done this before on other seasons. Vince's girlfriend was not in his family message. Yeah, I know. Ava's boyfriend was in her. So this is not a situation where they were just like not including significant others or any sort of tinfoil hat that comes with that.
Absolutely. So of course Vince is a little in his head being like, well, I guess that's cacked up. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
Maybe there is a problem. You think there's a problem? Yes.
I wonder who caused this, Vince. Like how
No, you're sleeping in bed with another woman.
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't matter how far it's going. That's the line for a lot of people. A lot of people in relationships are going to be like, I am not okay with this. This is crossing the line.
Yeah, like it hasn't fundamentally changed anything between Vince and Morgan right now that we've seen on feeds. Like he kind of went through it a little bit emotionally yesterday, which was kind of weird because it was a celebration of Morgan's birthday and he's over here in his feelings, but they still kind of had their same overnight in bed routine, like all of that other sort of stuff.
Yeah, so it hasn't affected him at all, really,
Yeah.
if he's still going to be doing the same thing.
Okay, so as we pivot now back to Keanu, let's say first and foremost here, they had all this conversation about a unique eviction vote that was on the show. The house guests have been talking about it. Insofar as we can tell, the only thing that might have been unique about it is, okay, did Julie not talk to Keanu yet? Or was it in a different place? It doesn't feel like there was some like dramatic twist here.
No, it just feels like it was like a short HoH.
Yeah, which, okay, ultimately, did you guys overhype this? The answer to that is, okay, clearly yes. But at the same time, and we said this yesterday, it would have been really unfair if it was like some magic competition or something that Keanu, like they don't need game-breaking twists at the final five of Big Brother.
No, they don't. I would be very mad. This would be a very different video if they had done something like that where it's like, oh, all the votes have been cast and it's for him, but surprise, unique eviction. Now it's going to be for the other person. Ha ha ha. I would have been really mad. That is unfair. None of that's okay. This is too far in the game to be messing about.
No, I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad that even last night, Keanu, after kind of taking a break from campaigning, he made one last push to Ashley to try to see if she would change her mind. She wasn't really all that interested in it. I'm actually really, really interested to see if Keanu does have an interview with Julie, like what he thinks about his game in retrospect and some of the various mistakes that he made, because like he did make plenty.
He did, but he also made it to the final five, and that's pretty far. I mean, you know, he made it further than Rachel, which is wild.
It's really, really wild. And like his archetype, like we've compared him to Devin before for Big Brother 16. This is almost always a pre-jury boot. So him making it this far, like he's absolutely going to be back for some other show in the greater CBS/MTV universe, like whatever that ends up being, he's going to be there.
We'll see you on the challenge.
I hope we see you on another show first, but we will eventually see you.
We hope to see you on the Traitors.
I hope that the Traitors, I don't know. I will take more of Keanu at any given point here. But okay, well, the last thing we really have to say here is that Ashley, we've talked about her before. Like she, other than not being able to win competitions, you know, which is unfortunately pretty important this late in the game.
Yes.
She's trying her best with every other avenue, like including doing what she can at this point to make sure in this final four that she is not taken out for any reason. Like she doesn't want there to be a situation where Vince potentially takes her out. Like, so she's already trying to throw Ava under the bus. And basically, I don't know if you had a secret conversation with Ashley at some point in the last, because she's basically parroting everything you have been saying on these videos these past few days and sort of being like, Ava, she's probably got Kelly's vote, Will's vote. Like, do you want to go to the end with someone who has that many jury votes?
That's the argument. It really is, because especially the way that people have been going out, and it just, she's really close to too many people on this jury. But at the same time, for Ashley, the person, I know that that's what's happening right now, and she's going to be up against her, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the only person that Ashley's going to be able to beat is Ava. She needs to find a way to actually be able to keep Ava. Vince has made as many mistakes as he has, but unless she's really able to explain some huge game-changing move, how does she beat Vince? Just likability?
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky because we've talked about this.
And she's not beating Morgan.
Yeah, she's 100% not beating Morgan. I think Ashley knows that she's not beating Morgan.
No.
Like, she could probably give a better speech than Vince, but it is, like you said, it's not a lot of time to convince a jury when Vince, messy or not, he's just got a lot more on his resume. I think that Ashley has been a better social player than Vince, but in terms of strategy and in terms of competitions, like, Vince just has her beat on those two fronts.
Yeah, you may not like him, you may not like the way he's played, but he has bulldozed through this game.
Yeah, he has, and that's gotten him to where he is right now. But we'll see when exactly the Final Four veto ends up happening.
Yep.
I am once again very grateful to Big Brother production for a couple of different things here. Number one, them having an accelerated end game. We're not going to have to sit around here and be like, today we watch people play Jenga or like some of that nonsense. And beyond all that, let's give them a shout out for bringing the feeds back today, because like in past seasons when they've done these accelerated evictions, they have basically kept feeds from us for days, and they did spoil something big from their show in bringing them back tonight. So thank you very, very much, production.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they did this. We had been talking about it just privately, like, oh, are they just gonna take down the feeds and we're not gonna see anything until the next show because they're not gonna want to spoil anything? But yeah, they brought back the feeds, and for me, I just feel like because it was so obvious he was going, that production was probably like, it's just so obvious. There's nothing to hide. Like, we'll just let this one go.
Yeah, we'll just let this go. Let people enjoy the feeds for the tiny amount of time that we still have them.
Yeah.
But that is where we are in this edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. So go ahead and tell us, in honor of Keanu's exit, what was your favorite Keanu moment this season? Is it his fighting with Rachel? Is it him telling Ava, I believe you have a prompt? Like, give us all of your favorites, and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other coverage, and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. We have a link in the description below for that. This week, we're going to start exclusive video coverage there of Slow Horses.
Yes.
Show we love. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you here next time.